All right, what up, gang? Welcome back to the Footy Pod. I'm your host, Rhett, and we are back at it with another episode, fresh off of the World Cup final. The World Cup is finally over. We are recording this, it is Tuesday, July 21st. So actually a couple days after, so it's kind of settled in a little bit, and but still a little fresh. Honestly, still a little fresh. Today, I'm solo dolo for the pod, which I thought would be nice just because when I started the pod and we started talking about the World Cup, I was solo dolo, so I figured we ended off with a solo dolo just so I can talk about my thoughts, what I kind of saw throughout the whole tournament, and we talked through it a lot. We had a lot of awesome guests on the past. What has it been, a month and a half or something like that? It's been really, really great. But I think it's really time to talk about it. Let's go through it all. Let's just talk about, I think we'll probably start off here with just talking about, I think, the bronze medal in that game, those games within the last couple of days, and just kind of hit it off from there. But listen, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I totally forgot about the bronze medal game. I did. I don't. I'm not sure if I'm the only one that forgot about that. I legitimately had some buddies texting me probably like 15, 20 minutes before that game even started, and I was like, wow, I had quite literally no idea that it was going on. But nonetheless, I mean, I peeked at it a little bit. I was kind of busy, but peeked at the game, and I mean, wow. I mean, this would have been, I think a lot of people would have loved this as the final. I personally would have loved this being the final. I wanted England, France to be in the final. That's what I really thought was going to happen. And I lost. I lost on both those games. So England didn't even win. France did not win either. So, but what a thriller of a match, man. I mean, come on. I know it's a bronze medal. I know it's, people are probably thinking, oh, they didn't really try. And I know that, France had like a different 11 out there, and so did technically England as well. But you're still playing for pride and you're still playing for your country, and there's still something at stake there, which is a lot of pride. And I think no one wants to go out of a tournament like that, you know, just you've worked so hard. It's like there's no point of going out and on a whimper, basically. But man, I mean, England really took it to them. I mean, that is just what a first half. It was a game of two halves, though. At the end of the day, it really was. England absolutely dominates that first half. 3 goals within the first half. I mean, that is just, you're thinking it's buttoned up completely. And we got a goal by Rice in that, which is amazing. I mean, we're over here thinking, oh man, he needs to be put in a cryo chamber. Well, maybe that's just me thinking about the season coming up and how many minutes and games he's played. But, I'm thinking, oh, there's no way he plays. He plays, bags a fantastic goal. Something that you kind of look at, a goal you look at for Declan Rice, and you go, yeah, that's what you're made of. That's what you're able to do. Just needs it to kind of happen a little bit more often, where he just kind of shoots more, to be honest. But great goal. I thought Eze did fantastic. Slipped Saka in for, I think it was 2 goals just in the first half. And then obviously Spain comes back. They're going on a rampage. Kylian Mbappe just wants that golden boot, and did enough to get it. Did enough to get it. Got 2 goals in the second half out of their 4, and England ended up running away with it towards the end. But wow, it was close. I mean, it was 4-3 until like, I don't know what minute it was, but maybe until like the 75th or something like that. And then that's when Saka got the penalty. Once he made it 5-3, it was basically game over. But hey, I mean, goals were still flying after that. So hat trick for Saka, which is fantastic. I think we would have all loved to see more of him in this tournament. For England players, that's the one thing I love is like everyone always jokes around Saka and how he limps and all of that. But I think it's really great whenever you talk to England fans and they miss him so much. It's like whenever he's not on the team sheet, everyone's sad because they're like, "Oh, where is he?" He's just a guaranteed starter at this point, and I think everyone just kind of loves him. Even though you're always going to give a couple players stick, But yeah, he is just it's just incredible. His output this World Cup, I think he had. I mean, his goal output or goal assist output was just incredible. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I remember seeing the number out there, and it was a remarkable number where he was just averaging a goal and assist every XYZ minutes basically, which is just fantastic. And he really wasn't. I don't think he was full on healthy. I knew he did an interview at the end and said, "Yeah, I'm healthy," but he's probably healthy now after about a month. But he was not healthy at the beginning of this tournament, and I think Tuchel is it's tough being in that scenario. You don't you're trying to make the right decisions, and maybe not putting him in the semifinal was costly. We'll never really know, but at the same time, like I think England could have done a little bit better in that semifinal. We just didn't really obviously button up shop towards the end, which was tough. I was able to watch a lot of that game too, and but yeah, so that was so yeah, the bronze medal goes to England, which just kudos to them. I think a fantastic tournament. I know England fans wanted to see more, right? You always want your team to win the World Cup, but I mean, England is so close. They are so close to doing something just incredible, and they just need to keep on going. That next Euros is theirs. It's really theirs. I think they know it. These players that have been, playing since like a great example like Saka has been playing in the national team now. I think Saka is 20. Oh geez, I forgot how old he is now. But he'll probably be like, there's 2 more years for him to be able to marinate in his game and get even better and better. Players like him, like Harry Kane will still be there. A lot of players will still be. Jude will be 2 years older and even more mature. Morgan Rogers, a lot of these players are going to be just absolutely fantastic the next go around. Even like someone like Jared Kwanzaa, I hope he stays in. I think he's a great player, but he's going to have more time and seed, and it's going to be really really good for England. So they continue. I think England fans need to hold their head high and think about. It's right on the cusp. It's right there. I think Tuchel is also the coach to get them there too. I kind of thought about it after the game, after the semifinal, and I thought, oh man, he was brought in just to do this, but I don't think England are that transactional. I think that they see him as, hey, this is hey, for your first World Cup to get to all the way to win the bronze medal is pretty impressive. I mean, I think about you think about Roberto Martinez and him being at Portugal and having Portugal through a lot of good years and not being able to do anything. Sorry, actually, that was through Belgium. Belgium not being able to do anything really there. He got them. I think they won a bronze medal. That's about it, and really didn't do what they needed to do. But England's Tuchel is going to do well. He's going to do well there. But honestly, David Ornstein dropping the fact that Pep Guardiola was an option to be a manager at the end of, I think, fall of or spring of last year or something like that was pretty crazy little bombshell to drop that he, like, I don't know if he turned it down or if they just didn't come to terms or something like that, but that's pretty incredible. So, but yeah, so we go from there, and that's the bronze medal match, and then we go straight to Argentina versus Spain. So this was a really fun one. I was lucky enough to have a bunch of friends over for a watch party, and everyone was really into the game. And though low scoring, very exciting match. Very, very exciting match. You could just see that Spain were so up for it from the get-go. And they were just showing so much quality from the start. And you just had a feeling if Argentina don't get into this, they don't find some rhythm here, it's going to be tough for them. And I don't really think they found a lot of rhythm. I think Spain just truly exerted their dominance on that game the whole time. And that just goes to show how much confidence they have. Yes, Argentina won the last World Cup, but that was a couple years ago. Spain won the Euros. I mean, that was 2 years ago, but they're flying high. I mean, there's a stat. Spain have been playing out of their mind for like 2 years straight. Fabian Ruiz, the midfielder that plays for PSG on their team, has only played 50 games for Spain, and he's never lost one. So, and he's only been in the team for like 2 years or something like that. It's been every single game he plays in, they win. They never lose. So, like, I think it just goes to show how consistent they are as a team. So they come into this game, they're confident, they know what they've got to do. Spain versus Argentina. A lot of Argentinians playing Spain, and I mean, man, that was we knew it was going to be a fierce game, a truly fierce game, and it really was. And but honestly, I think at the end, like Lamine Yamal was stunning for me. Like I think he was fantastic as a player. Like I think he was doing so well in there, just combining well. People forget how young he is. He's 18 or something like that. I mean, it's just incredible to watch an 18-year-old. I At 18, I could not imagine doing what he's doing. It's just immense. He's already won the Euros. He won the Euros at 16 years old. Now he's won the World Cup at 18. It's just phenomenal. It's really phenomenal. And we've got like an absolute world beater of a talent right there. And I think he needs to be up for discussions here coming up soon. If he can put on another really good season, he's going to be in that Ballon d'Or, level here very soon. You've got the people like him, Olise, that are just really on the cusp of it, on the cusp of doing something fantastic and being in that running. Just like people would have never thought that Dembele was going to be in that running, and look at him now, right? He's doing fantastic. So Lamine Yamal was absolutely incredible. But let's be honest. Right when we saw that Enzo red card, I think that was to me that was it. You're just waiting for someone to lose their temper, something to kind of kick off, and who's going to create that domino effect. And I think that was it. I think that was it right now. So it's unfortunate that it had to be Enzo, but very silly tackle. I don't think that that's necessary at all. I think again he's in the heat of the moment. He's thinking I'm going to put everything on the line every single time I go for a ball, and I get it. There's a lot of emotion in a game like that, but a little bit silly to go in for that, especially being on a yellow. I mean, and I think Argentina kind of paid the price for that in the end because they just didn't really have what it took. It's like they didn't have that edge to them that said, yeah, like we're gonna get this win. It's gonna be ours. And they just didn't have it. They had one chance with Simeone towards the end, and that really felt about it, to be honest. Like the rest of the game was just Spain knocking on the door saying, we're here, we want another goal, we want a goal. And then Ferran Torres gets it. I mean, fantastic goal. I mean, come on, like that assist from Nico Williams is off the chain. That's crazy. A crazy assist to be able to head that ball back, to know that the player's there, to know it and put it on a platter for him. I think it's just fantastic. Great goal for him. Ironically, I think there's some news that like Barcelona's trying to sell him. So because supposedly if they don't sell him this summer, I think they have to pay like $8 million to Man City. So I bet you he's going to be a pretty hot commodity now that he's won. He's going to be like a Mario Götze when he just won the World Cup basically as a substitute. I think there's only been 2 players ever do that, and it's them. And I'm sure he'll go to, I bet you, PSG or Manchester United or something like that. We'll probably buy him after this. I'm sure he'll go to like a really top club. So I'm sure people will think, yeah, he's got what it takes to do it. So, and he's a good player for Barcelona. There's obviously that's why he's even on the Spain team to begin with. So, fantastic game overall. I'm kind of glad it didn't go to penalties, just because I didn't think that it deserved to go to penalties. You always want something exciting, but that game didn't deserve it. Spain deserved to win that outright, and I think they did it. And now they've been in 2 finals, Spain, 2010 and 2026. 2 finals ever in Spain history, won both. Really impressive. Very impressive, honestly. And they came in and they played so well. So they get the win. Rodri, the captain for Spain, has now won everything possible in football. which is just insane if you think about it. Like, he's won basically every award that you could possibly win as a player. So now he's got the Ballon d'Or. He's won the I think he was FIFA best player of the tournament, and then he also won the World Cup. So doesn't get much better for him, honestly. I think if you got a Rodri jersey out there, that's gonna go down pretty well in history. So honestly, kudos to him. I mean, he's just an insane player overall. Crazy, crazy good player. Tore his ACL not long ago. Not long ago. I think maybe a year and a half ago or something like that. He missed most of the season last year. Not this year, but last year. And that was tough for City. But he's come back and he's flying now. So it'll be interesting to see if he goes anywhere this summer too, by the way. I don't know if I think there's something going on. There could be some movement there. I think he wants to go to Spain, but we'll see if Real Madrid actually want him. I think that's kind of his big option, basically, is the only option. Be able to pay probably his transfer fee at this point. I think he's got another year on his contract or something like that. But so there goes the final. The final's 1-0 Spain. Honestly, great game. You got to love that. I mean, people will be like, "Oh yeah, I wish that was the England France game or whatever." But at the end of the day, you gotta be happy with that. So, and predictions wise, I know I was talking to some people and they were like, "Rhett, you need to go through your predictions. You need to talk about what you predicted at the beginning of the World Cup and how they ended." Well, let's be honest, it was pretty bad. It was overall terrible because I picked Germany as my dark horse. I'll just go through all. Well, okay. I thought England would win it all. They didn't. That's who I thought was going to win it. All the way to the end. They did not win. So that's a big there. So Germany next was my dark horse. Germany looked. I don't know what's going on with them. It was just odd. They have so much talent. It's just one of those things where you have so much talent and why are they not playing well? Why don't they combine well enough? And that was a sad performance. Julian Nagelsmann, he's a really good coach. I'm just surprised that he wasn't able to put it together. You saw it in the last Euros. They were like, I thought they were the best team in the last Euros. I thought they were better than Spain. Spain was my dark horse in that Euros, and they ended up winning it. So I actually got that one right. But no one can ever, it wasn't on air back then, so you can't. There's no radio waves telling me that I said that, but I did think that Spain was really good, but I thought Germany was better. They were just rolling last Euros, and I wanted that to be the final. It obviously wasn't the final. It had to be the semifinal, I think, because, I forgot who England played in their semifinal, but England obviously played in the final. Spain won, whatever. But so I thought Germany. Oh boy, they're ready to rock and roll here, and very disappointing. Very, very disappointing from the Mutterland, Deutschland. Not great. So, and then my other one after Germany went out, I picked Morocco. Morocco, it's just like a repeat of the last World Cup. They get in front of France, and they just can't get past them. So it's like a little bit of a mental block for them at this point now. It's 2 major tournaments in a row. They have not been able to get past, France. But Morocco, kudos to them. What a tournament for them. They play so well together. They play like they've been all playing together for 10 years. So kudos to their coach, because to be able to pick that's how you pick squads based off of who can play well together, who meshes together, and he does a fantastic job of that. So, but with that, I mean, that wraps up the World Cup. I think at the end of the day, if I were to give this World Cup like a grade on the scale, right, I would probably give it. I'm gonna be honest. I would probably give it an A-. And the only why an A-, But the only reason is because I think the hydration breaks are my only con of this World Cup. I mean, it was fantastic overall. I loved having more teams. Thought more teams was actually great. And it made it more exciting. There was like more, you had more wild cards to kind of pick from, and that was awesome. Maybe I didn't love the whole, like, there are a lot of games in. I don't know. It's just like, I guess you're so used to having a World Cup in one country. It was kind of weird having it in three. But I think this might be something that they do going forward. It doesn't really seem like, because the next one's going to be Morocco, Portugal, Spain. So maybe this is like the format they want to do going forward, is because they want to have so many games. They know that one country can't host it all. So even though, let's be honest, the United States could host the whole World Cup, and we have the infrastructure to be able to do that. It's just whether, we obviously just didn't. That's not how we bid for it. But I would say A minus. Hydration breaks are my biggest con there. To be honest, I just think that they were just kind of ridiculous, and now it just feels like they're about to change the game, and like every, the next World Cup's gonna have them, and then FIFA's gonna be like, the youth games should have them, and it's just gonna become this whole thing where everything becomes, I get it, it's Americanized, it's four quarters or whatever, but it's just not how I grew up playing the game. I don't really want that to be where it goes. So if I can keep it away from that, that's what I want to do. So that's just my A minus. But everything else, fantastic, really really great overall. Um, I just thought, yeah, it would have been really nice to not have that. But so you're probably thinking, Rhett, what's next going forward? You started this podcast off and we're just talking about the World Cup, and the World Cup's over now. What are we going to do? Well, good news for all of you that going forward is basically just going to be what it is now. I mean, I obviously cover a lot of the Premier League, so going forward it's going to be a lot of the Prem. My team is Arsenal, so I will be talking a lot about them, but also at the same time bringing in other guests, other friends that support other teams, and because I want their viewpoints, I want to talk about things that are going on, transfers, news, because there's always something going on at a club, but also just in this world. There's just always something going on. There's transfers flying around right now. There's just a crazy ton of news. Managers are always on the shake. It's there. It's just, it's always moving. It's always moving. So where we will kind of focus on for the next, I think it's like 31, 32 days before the Prem season starts, is a lot of transfers, a lot of news, what's going on with the clubs. If there's anything bigger news, right? If there's like news coming out of the Prem, just like actually like the FA reporting on anything, financials, things like that. I love to be able to talk about any of that, even though sometimes I don't understand it. I still want to talk about it, at least put it out there so people can listen if they don't stay on Twitter all day long like I do, basically, getting all this media just forced in front of my face. But that's my fault anyway. But anyway, so I think let's talk about a little bit of that, right? So right now, as we even speak, again, the World Cup's over, but there's already some craziness going on with transfers right now. And I would say the big one that's going rounds right now is the Morgan Rogers transfer. So right now, actually, it's been confirmed Morgan Rogers is going to Chelsea. So he's going from Aston Villa to Chelsea. I think the fee is 117 million, I believe, is the number, right around there, something like that. Crazy fee. Honestly, like, I think it's a high fee. Anything over anything over 100 million, you know, it's just one of those where you're like, oh boy, that's a big price tag. So I think Morgan Rogers is a fantastic player. I hope he does very well at Chelsea. I think he will. I think he'll be able to get a lot of freedom there to do what he wants. Probably more freedom than he would have gotten at Arsenal, just because we are a little bit more tight knit of a club. But we don't really know what Xabi Alonso is going to do at Chelsea, so we don't really know what his like style is going to be. I haven't really dug into. I do really enjoy kind of going on YouTube, watching people talk about managers, style of play, and showing like kind of like their game formats and things like that. Their how they build, how they press, things like that. So it will be something that I'll probably be looking at a little bit more going forward. And something non-transfer wise actually here as well is, I don't think we've really talked about this, but Xabi Alonso, I'll I can't even remember his name now. What is his name? Oh geez, the Fulham coach is Alvaro. I forgot his name. Whatever. The new Fulham coach. He basically is also Spanish. Xabi Alonso is Spanish. Mikel is Spanish, and who else? I think there's one more. There's gonna be three or four Spanish players, and I think Mikel, um, um, and a couple of them are Basque as well, so they're from that Basque region, which is just it's kind of crazy. Spain's already doing very well in the world, Euros and World Cup champions, and they've got the winner of the Premier League was a Spain coach the last couple years. Obviously Liverpool aren't a slot, but Pep Guardiola has obviously been crushing it. So Spain definitely is putting out some serious talent right now on the managerial side, which is very, very exciting. So, but on a more transfers, right? So we got Tielemans going to United. That's sad from Villa. I wish Villa would have been able to keep him. I think United were able to. There was a clause in his contract that they were basically able to activate that said, hey, we can buy you for whatever XYZ dollar. That's tough for Villa. That's a huge loss for them. Pretty hard to replace a guy like Tielemans. He's been there for a couple of years now, fantastic player. So that'll be a tough one for them. But United gained a really good player. They also have Andre Santos as well. They bought from Chelsea, so United are definitely strengthening. And you got Garnacho that are trying to go from Chelsea to Villa. So Villa's doing a lot of business right now. They are seriously doing a lot of business, and they're having some high-profile players come in and out. They're looking at a lot of different players. They also had Manzambi from Freiburg, SC Freiburg, come in. I think that was after Morgan Rogers left. I think that was like his basically replacement. The Morgan Rogers transfer, by the way, I think they bought him for $9 million. I think like a year and a half, 2 years ago. So I think that goes to show like how good Morgan Rogers is. Like he just went from like being worth like 9 million to now being 117. I mean, what an absolute rocket of a transfer that is. So that's really fantastic. And a little bit outside of the Prem here, but you know in a old Villa player, but I had to bring this one up. But John Duran. First of all, I was looking at Colombia while they were playing the World Cup, and I'm like, they feel like they're missing someone. It's John Duran. It's totally John Duran. I'm like, where is John Duran? He wasn't picked. He wasn't picked for the Colombia team, which I'm like, he was legitimately 1 year ago lighting up the world, lighting up the Champions League with some outrageous finishes when Villa were making a very, very good push in the Champions League. He did fantastic. I mean, and then he got, they sold him to Al Hilal or Al Nasir. Sorry, got that one wrong. But Al Nasir, they sell him, and he plays. I think I played half the season there. Then he went to Fenerbahce for a little bit for half the season. He came back. Then he went to, Zenit St. Petersburg for a little bit. I mean, and now he's going to Benfica on loan. This is just a bad transfer all over. This guy's going on like 3 or 4 loans, and he's basically like barely even played at all. Or he's playing a little bit, but he barely played for Al Nassr. I mean, this got to be looked at as a horrible situation. They paid so much money for him. I don't know how they're able to. I know they have money for days, but from a financial standpoint, I'm like, how are you able to continue doing this? It makes no sense at all. So whatever. I guess I'm not gonna look into their financials. I don't think they're probably even out there. And honestly, the transfer to kind of end it all is, if you really know ball, if you remember this guy lighting up the scene a couple years back, getting a big, and this player played at West Ham I don't know if he had a full transfer there or if it was on loan, played some time at West Ham as a striker, left, went to Ajax, did phenomenal at Ajax, crazy, crazy big season, then transferred over, got a big move to Dortmund, plays at Dortmund. An unfortunate life event happens. I think he got testicular cancer, and that sidelined him. And to be honest, he has not been the same ever since, which is very, very sad. But it's Sebastian Haller. If you know ball, you remember Sebastian Haller, fantastic player. What a great just brute of a player, but also had a little bit of acrobatics in him. I mean, he was one to watch. You kind of thought, oh man, he might have something in him. And yeah, ever since he had that cancer, and obviously he's good now, but yeah, he's been kind of a little bit on the down, and I think he went straight from I think he went out from Dortmund. And I think he went to I don't know who he went to next, but I know he went to FC Utrecht, which is in I think it's in the Netherlands. Played there a little bit, and his loan just ended, or his transfer just ended, and now he's going to a team called San Fresque in Japan. So not looking good for him. Looks like he's more on the downward spiral of his career right now, which I don't know how old he is, to be honest, but I thought he was pretty young. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe something I should have looked up as well. But yeah, a little bit tough there to watch that one. But Sebastian Haller, if you know ball, you know ball. So really, really good player. Did some cool stuff at West Ham. I remember him briefly there. So, and I really thought he was going to light up the show a little bit more, but yeah. So, and I mean, I guess kind of last one here is there's news breaking with Crescencio Somerville going to Al Hilal for $80 million. I mean, this is just Saudi in a nutshell. I mean, $80 million for Somerville. He's probably worth 25 to 30. So, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. It's just what it is, whatever. He had a decent World Cup, but nothing that makes him an $80 million player. I know he's young, but whatever. But anyway, with that, I'm going to wrap it up for this week. Thank you all for tuning in. As I said, going forward, it's just going to be every Tuesday like we've been doing before. If I can sprinkle in some extra episodes and things like that, if we need to, then I will. But for right now, I think it's going to be every single Tuesday. We're going to keep on rocking and rolling, keep on bringing the guests in. Let's talk about the news. Let's talk about the transfers. Let's talk about all the craziness that's going on. So, but with that, Footy Gang, thank you so much for another fantastic week. I always, always, always appreciate everyone that listens and even watches here on YouTube. I don't know if you're listening to this and you don't know that I'm on YouTube and you want to watch it in YouTube fashion, you totally can. I'm also trying to work on getting this in video format for Apple Podcasts as well. So I'm trying to work on that as well. So just trying to do a couple things here and there that make it a little bit more fun and appealing for people to be able to listen / watch. So yeah, we're on everything. Trying to get some socials going here too soon. I don't know if I want to how far I want to dive into the socials, but it's definitely something I'm thinking about a little bit. So we'll see if that takes off or if I'm rolling with that a little bit. But again, love you all as always. Thank you so much for listening up, and talk to you soon. Peace.